Hi guys, it's Shar. Welcome back to my channel, Craftin' Up a Storm. Today is the 5 under $5 challenge, and this month's project are wood projects. And I did a little twist. I made my wood projects into woods projects, as in the forest. And they have a bit of a magical twist. So I hope you enjoy these inexpensive projects, 5 of them. I will tell you about this collaboration a little later in the video. Let's get crafting. For my first project, I took these 2 wood round ornaments. They come in a pack of 3, I believe, or 4 from Dollar Tree, and I used some craft sticks. I also used this round cork that I had in my stash. You can use just a round piece of cardboard, anything that kind of helps keep a circle shape for you that you can glue your sticks onto. I am gluing on my half sticks. I'm trying to glue them so that they flare out a bit at the top. That small wood ornament is going to fit into the top of it so that it's a little thinner toward the bottom. Kind of like a top hat shape, or at least maybe a Mad Hatter top hat shape. I glue the sticks all the way around the edge, and I glued that wood piece in. And now I'm going to cover the whole thing with some twine. I put some glue on a stick every so often just so that the twine will stay attached, but mainly I'm just wrapping it around. Once I get to the top, I do use a line of glue to glue the twine to all the way around the edge. I lay down a line of glue and then I press the twine into it. I don't have to go around the whole top of this because I want to put some moss on it. So I just went around the edge until it was far enough in I was comfortable with it. Now I'm going to cover the top with moss, but here I'm showing you I also used some of that faux birch ribbon around the bottom of it, and I missed that on camera. Now I'm going to glue some moss to the top of it, and I went down the side a little bit as well too, and just put as much moss as I thought kind of looked good at the top. I have these wood mushrooms from Dollar Tree. They were in my stash from last year. I think they usually come out in the fall maybe. And I am showing you that on all of them, I eventually put some antique wax on them and kind of colored them. Some of them I put spots on. Some of them I painted a light color to and decorated, but all of them I used the antique wax. I also used a few faux decorations that I had used or cut off different Christmas ornaments before. I had little pine cones and little berries, and that's how this little woodsy top hat came out. Let me know what you guys think. The 5 under $5 challenge comes to you every month on the 5th, and it's hosted by Emily at FarmCharmChic. And our guest host this month is Sharon from Grace's Neighbor Sharon. And this collaboration is so much fun. It challenges us crafty DIYers to come up with 5 projects costing under $5 to make. If you're a guest from one of these lovely crafters channels, welcome, and click on the playlist and you can see everyone's inspiration for wood decor this month. For this next project, I found this small wooden rolling pin at the thrift store for $1.99. And I know it is wood, and I know it's not particularly woodsy. For some reason, I felt like this would make a really cute addition, and maybe it's the fact that I just don't cook a lot lately, so maybe there's moss growing on my utensils in the kitchen, but for some reason I thought it would come out cute to decorate it with a little moss and some mushrooms and make it a magical wood project as well. And it came out really cute. Perfect for a tiered tray. What I did in the front and now here in the back is I did glue a stick to the back of it so that it wouldn't roll. With the little stump that I put on top of it and some of the moss, it kind of was heavy, so it wanted to roll forward, but that kept this from and had it stay in place. I decorated it with some of those mushrooms and some more of my leftover decor, and this is how it came out. I had one of these Dollar Tree house shapes in my stash, and I am going to cover that with the antique wax. And I left the edges because I'm going to use some popsicle sticks. I had some left over that had already been painted yellow, and I just kind of cut them up. Some of them I cut in half, so I had kind of a shingle look, and it's just the little craft sticks cut up. I put some antique wax over it because I didn't want it to be too yellow. And now I made a little fence. Well, this was a door. I believe I used 9 of the popsicle sticks or craft sticks and made kind of a roundish shape with it. Used a zigzag across the front with some of those craft sticks. I painted it red, and now I'm distressing it with some antique wax. And I sanded it quite a bit in the front of the house. I wanted to distress it a little bit. Now I'm going around the edge of it, which is why I wasn't so worried about it being perfect. I'm going around the whole edge of it with moss. I put a little moss up on the top where the shingles were, and I've got these really cute little flowers from Dollar Tree, and I'm using some of them around my little fairy door, and I have another of the little birch stumps, and I'm going to decorate it with mushrooms and some more leftover decor, and it's a cute little fairy door. This one's my favorite, I think. Let me know what you guys think. For this project, I grabbed another of the wooden ornaments from Dollar Tree and a large craft stick. I'm not going to use it quite this way. I decided instead to use a stick from my tree in my front yard. Cleaned it up a little bit, and now I'm going to glue it down to that wooden ornament. The best way I thought was to put a wooden block down, and that way I could glue the stick on the bottom and to the side of the wooden block, and then I put another wooden block in the front. I kind of sandwiched it in between 2 wooden blocks, and the moss is going to cover that. Now here's where I use those craft sticks. I cut the rounded edges off because I want it to resemble a sign. I painted them different colors, distressed it a bit, sanded them down, and now I'm doing some antique wax around it. I do also kind of chip the ends and the edges of it because I want it to look like a nice old wooden sign. I'm now going to write on the front. I just used a different font look to each of my words and used a black Sharpie. It's kind of supposed to resemble a direction sign, like think Alice in Wonderland and this way or that way or wrong way or something like that. But instead, it's going to have just love, live, laugh, and dream on the front. I glued my signs to my sign post and added a little decoration to the moss at the bottom and a little moss along the sign. What do you think of this one? This latch project was fun. I used this candlestick holder from Dollar Tree and I cut down some popsicle sticks, but I cut them so that one side was a little longer than the other because I'm going to stagger these a longer and a shorter and a longer and a shorter around the edge of this candlestick holder. And I just used hot glue and glued it down. I'm going to use a battery powered candle in it so it won't be too warm. After it was all glued, I of course put some antique wax on my craft sticks. And for the decoration, I went around the edge of it with some moss, with some glue to glue down some moss. I used a little different moss this time that I had in my stash, but also I still used the little mushrooms in the leftover decor. And here's a cute little candle holder. Here are all 5 projects from today's video. Let me know in the comments which one was your favorite and which one you would like to recreate. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. If you haven't already, please give this video a great thumbs up. That helps my YouTube channel. And subscribe if you're not part of the Craft and Storm family. Have a great day.